I have nothing against Ezekiel Odero of Mombasa, Mavueni, but I'm gonna speak as a prophet. And I'm asking a question. Why are you initiating thousands and thousands and thousands of Kenyans, putting demons in them by a liquid that you have acquired from ocean? At 5 in the morning today, 2 big mosquitoes wake me up around 4. They were making so loud noise until they were closer to my ears and I could slap. I want to slap them, but I'm slapping myself, and like they know when I'm about to send my hand and all that kind of thing. So I woke up, I went downstairs, I took my shower, then I heard the voice, "Go to church, we want to talk to you." I was the first person to arrive here today. So I just dressed up and I left. I came here. Immediately I arrived here, I went to the office. I found when the church had been open, I went to the office and immediately I sat on my seat. An angel of the Lord appeared. So the angel of the Lord sat and he told me, "I want to talk to you." And I told him, "Go ahead and talk." So he asked me a question. "Why are you initiating my people? Why are you initiating my people?" I looked at him and I asked him, "Me initiating people? How? Where?" I gave him my program of the week. I told him, "I don't understand what you're talking about, but as far as I'm concerned, the whole of this week I was in Bungoma in a conference up to Wednesday. I came back on Thursday, I was in Kisumu Church. I was meeting people as usual, seeing people and helping them as usual. On Friday, I was on my own errands, riding up and down, fixing things that I could fix because of the time I spent out. In the evening, I went for program as usual. I was unable to minister, so I logged off. On Saturday, I was in Karen in a wedding. Today, I've come here. So who are these people that have initiated?" Then he told me, "Not you. That's why I'm here. And I am the mosquito." That's what the angel told me. That he was the mosquito that was interfering with me. From Friday, Saturday, and now today, he was the mosquito. I want to start by saying this. In my heart, if there is anything I don't like, is to have a confrontation with anyone standing on the altar. Munisikize kabisa, tena wacha nizungumze kwa Kiswahili. Katika maisha yangu mimi kama Samo, sipendi kumdhulumu mtu, especially mtu anayesimama madhabahuni na kuliita jina la Bwana. Sipendi. Kwa sababu ya dhiki ambayo nimepitia tangu Bwana aliponifanya kuwa nabii. Mateso ambayo nimeyapitia, dhihaka ambayo nimepitia, dhuluma ambayo nimepitia, maudhi ambayo nimeyaona, yananifanya mimi nisipende kabisa kumtaja ama kumshutumu mtu yoyote anayesimama madhabahuni. Kwa maana ninajua gharama ya madhabahu, ninaifahamu. Tena mimi naijua vizuri sana kwa sababu nalianza kuwa madhabahuni kama ningali mchanga zaidi. Kwa hivyo mateso ya madhabahu mimi nimeanza kuyakula kama ningali mchanga. Sipendi. Ati niseme fulani wa fulani sasa ako hivi. Maana kila mjakazi ana dhiki yake. Kila mtumishi wa Mungu ana majaribio yake. Kila mtumishi wa Mungu ana njia yake ya msalaba, na si rahisi. Na ni kwa sababu ya tabia hii ndio maana malaika wa Mungu akanitia katika teso hili. Akaniweka katika haya mateso ndiposa nipate ujasiri wa kuzungumza kile nataka kuzungumzia leo. Nafikiria ujumbe umefika kwa Kiswahili. Wacha nirudie ujumbe huu kwa Kiingereza. As a servant of God, I know the price of the altar. I know the pain that a man and a woman of God can go through because of the altar. I know the suffering. I know the persecution of an altar. Because I've gone through it. And mine started when I was still very young. And so I've tasted it. And that's the reason why I don't stand to talk against any man of God, woman of God who stands on an altar. Because I believe in one or the other, they are paying the price that I've also paid. I've been called names, I've been persecuted. All those things I've gone through because of the altar. If it wasn't the altar of Christ, the Son of Yahweh, I don't think if I would have gone through it. And that's the reason why me as a person, I don't like talking against any servant of God who stands on the altar. But what I'm about to speak, I have no any grudge as a person. And I have no any issue. I have no any envy. I have no any problem. I have no jealousy. Soever, and God is my witness, with the man of God that I'm about to talk about. And I'll still call him man of God. But what I'm about to say is purely truth. And even you know I'm not lying. I'm speaking the truth. As I always tell you, I'm one person, I don't talk until heavens talk. That's why it's very rare for you people to hear my voice anyhowly. But whenever I speak, give it time, you will see it. Because I'm not in any competition of a name. I'm not in any competition of famosity. No. And I'm not in any competition of wealth. If there is anything called wealth, then at my level where I've reached, I am very wealthy. Because once upon a time, I was a street boy. And a street boy doesn't have a home. He doesn't have a guardian. He's a home to himself. He's a guardian to himself. He's everything to himself. So if the Lord removed me from there to where I am, don't try to say I'm poor. I can have something to put on. I can have a place to sleep. And I can have something to eat. Then I'm very rich. To me, I'm very rich. The rest is to serve until I get my reward in the last day. That is Prophet Samo. That is who I am. So I don't think if there is any wealth that I need more than this. And if God provides, then I will use it for his own name. So personally as a person, my focus is heaven. My focus is Jerusalem. My focus is the kingdom of God. And I don't want plastic holiness. I want to be myself. I want to be real. I want to be me. I want to meet my Lord as me, as I am, the way I am. I will add nothing and I will reduce nothing to meet my God. I'll go as I am. That's what the Lord wants for all of us. I have nothing against Ezekiel Odero of Mombasa, Mavueni. But I'm going to speak as a prophet. And I'm asking a question. Why are you initiating thousands and thousands and thousands of Kenyans, putting demons in them by a liquid that you have acquired from ocean, telling people it's the Lord's table? Why? Listen what the angel told me. He's the current priest from the queen of the ocean. Before Ezekiel Odero became the priest of the underworld ocean, the first man who was the priest was a man called Joshua Mwanyaka from Tanzania. He's a prophet. He was the priest. Then when the season of Joshua came to an end, he handed over the mantle to a man called Godavia. He's also a prophet in Tanzania. He handed over the mantle to a man called Godavia in Tanzania. Joshua served very well, and his term was over. When his term was over, he handed over the mantle to a man called Godavia in Tanzania. Godavia failed because when you become a member, when you become a priest of the underworld, the ocean, you are not allowed to have any intercourse with normal women on earth. You are not allowed. Even your own wife. Your property belongs there. We have children in the house. So this man, after acquiring wealth and wealth and wealth, his desire for normal women, human daughters, was so high he could not control himself. And so he started indulging in relationship with normal women, earthly women. Because at that level, you have to keep the code. And so this angered the queen of the ocean. So out of the anger, the queen wanted a person who can replace. The queen sent an agent by the name Rahab. Rahab came on earth in the name of Zerah. Zerah met the wife of Ezekiel, Sarah. The target was Ezekiel, because Ezekiel was seen preaching in a place called Mariakani. He had 2 speakers. So they spotted him. And they felt this man can make a good priest. So they went through the wife. So Ezekiel met this woman in the disguise of somebody who wanted help of prayer. And that woman gave Ezekiel 50,000. If Ezekiel will watch this program, he knows I'm not cheating. I've never spoken about him in any negative way. Check all my records. Even when Onyango of Eldoret insulted him, I told Onyango that was wrong. We don't need to insult each other and execute thunder. Because to me, I will believe you as a servant of God until the day the heavens will tell me you are not. As long as you call yourself a servant of God, I will give you the credits 100%, because who am I to judge? Because I don't decide for God whom he should use and whom he should not use. So as long as you come and you say you are a servant of God, automatically to me as Samo, I will accord you the maximum respect you deserve until the time heavens will tell me you are not, and not by making noise without approval. I'm not that kind of a prophet. Me, when I speak about you, I will give evidence and the history, because I have to ask angels questions before I go to ask to speak about what I'm going to speak. I cannot just pick a message and I go with it. No, I have to ask my questions. And if they are not answered, then I will not talk about that thing. And they know me. And probably that's why even them, they had to trigger me into a point that I have no option. They have to corner me, because they know it's only when we corner this person this way, he will talk. Lucas is a person who don't just go to him like that. Even the leaders here, they know. They will tell you, Papa, you have to organize your statement. If you don't, he will listen. He will listen. But he will not do it. Because for Lucas, you have to prove. For Paul says that if I pray in the spirit, I have to pray in my mind too. So, this woman came in a disguise of someone who was looking for help. Ezekiel and the wife, they were very innocent, not knowing they were being lured into something. And so, this woman one day asked if Ezekiel was willing to meet her boss. Ezekiel didn't know what she was going to meet. Ezekiel willingly, he met the queen of ocean without knowing that she was the queen of ocean. And the power that was discharged from the queen got into Ezekiel when he shared a table with the queen. And from there he lost himself. The first money that Ezekiel was given was 3 million. Cash, kwa gunia, not through the bank. And Ezekiel started from there. But my question is this. Do you have to initiate thousands of Kenyans and Tanzanians and Ugandans by a liquid you have drawn from ocean in the name of the Lord's table? Do we have to go to that extent? And this is a message to everyone who went to Mavueni for the Lord's table. Before the new moon of January, get water, put inside salt, take the Lord's Prayer 2 times and decree a sanctification, to be sanctified. Decree with your own mouth. Then take that water, salted. It will dissolve the cord. But if the moon of January will appear when you have not done it, wait for the results. Wait for results. Do you remember the work of Ben Hinn when I spoke about it? How many people insulted me? Ben Hinn is a servant of God. Oh, you are feeling jealousy. You are not called. I know some will start saying, I'm feeling jealousy for thousands of people went there. What do I have to do with thousands? Me, I'm not interested with people. I'm interested with my assignment. I'm not moved by people. Even if you come 1 million, what will you change when I'm going to hell? I'm interested with the assignment. As long as the word of God says, where there are 2, 3 in his name, he's there. Is that not enough for me? That's what I'm interested with. After all, even you who are here, I didn't come to Nairobi with anyone. And I didn't call any one of you. It was Yahweh who called you here. I've never done any advert, even on a TV station, to call people. For I know one thing. Those who come to me, Yahweh has sent them with a purpose. Either to do something or me to do something. There are 2 ways. Or both of us to do something. There are 3 things. Either you have come with something. Or you have come so that I do something. Or together we are supposed to do something. There are only 3 things. So those who want to say, let them say. But one thing I know, they say, and it doesn't change me. And that's why I told my media people, there is no deleting of any message. There's nothing as if somebody has insulted me, now you delete. Don't try that. Let them insult, let them remain there. Let them call me names, let it remain there. Because as David, I may say this word, let him curse me. Maybe out of his curse, the Lord may have mercy on me. Let them insult me. Maybe by the insult, the Lord will consider me. Because he knows I'm doing nothing of my own. And even heavens know that this kind of information, unless they push me to the wall, I can't speak. Because I want proof. I want proof as a prophet that when I'm standing, I am sure of what I'm talking about. And so, this is how this priesthood thing has moved. From Joshua to this man called Godavia. Now it came to Ezekiel, and the assistant of Ezekiel is a woman in Tanzania called Mfalme, Zumari, Zumuridi, something like that. Even the name has. Now, if a woman can call herself Mfalme, are we too blank to see this is not the will of Yahweh? And she's also a preacher. Last year, both of them were arrested. Ezekiel was arrested. The woman was arrested in Tanzania. They were all released. It was not God who released Ezekiel from prison. It was the Queen of the Ocean who commanded the government and ordered the government of Kenya to release Ezekiel. That's why the government never told us on what ground, on what accounts that Ezekiel was released. I don't care even if they will come for me. I am here. He who sent me will decide my fate. But I have to speak it. Because if I don't speak it, it becomes a punishment to me. Why didn't you speak? Has someone found that name? Such. Something. He's called what? She's called what? In Tanzania. She's the assistant. Check it. Zumaridi, thank you. That's the name. So Ezekiel is the priest. This is the assistant. They are both wealthy because they get their supply directly from the Queen of the Ocean. You have found it. What is it? Yes. And now the problem is initiating people. So as a prophet, I say this. Everyone who went to Mavueni and you took the so-called Lord's table, cleanse yourself. And the only way to cleanse yourself, don't deceive yourself, you'll go to a prophet for prayer. This is not about prayer. You participated on a table of the Queen of the Ocean. Cleanse yourself by water. Take water. Put salt. Why salt? Because salt is the only thing that cannot be reversed. Go to the teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ or Yeshua. He said you are the salt of the world. What can happen if the salt loses its? What can happen if the salt loses? Nothing. But it will be thrown out and people will tremble on it. Because salt is the only thing that is unreversible. Salt is the only element on earth that is unreversible. And you can only destroy it by two things. Burn it or dilute it. Take salt, your own salt, put inside water. Take the Lord's Prayer 2 times. Which part of the prayer will solve your case? The part that says, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from it. That is the part of the prayer that will activate that salt and water. Because water is a combination of darkness, light, and fire. The Lord took fire, darkness, and light and put together. And he commanded the light to dominate fire and darkness. That's why water has no color. And what came forth was water. So water is an element of 3 chords. It's a substance of 3 elements. Let me use the right English. That's why when it gets into when the salt comes in it, then it activates it. And now when you take the Lord's Prayer twice, number 2 is a chord, which now will make this water to have the ability to cleanse anything that has gotten inside that is coded, demonic or spiritual coded. You'll not say you didn't have a prophet to teach you. I'll not just tell you do this and I don't explain why you should do it. I've explained why you should do it. And you'll be saved from that contamination. Those coding things mmeingizwa ndani. But I'm not forcing anyone. Me, I'm just speaking. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want, stay.